frames have become these little cardboard things in. Don't throw them away. And you got these things, we call them spades, mounting spades, they call them some other shit as well. This is a really expensive tool, which you may or may not need. These are potentially a pain in the ass. They're already in there, but the reason they're a pain in the ass is that it might, if your mount boards are really tight fit, you're going to have to pull these out, because sometimes when you're dropping your image in, as we'll see, as we do this, it might get caught, which means that you might need to use this fucker.
Oh, Jesus.
This is a framing gun. The blade comes out there. Obviously you don't point it at anybody like I'm doing there. This is dangerous because it'll shoot. And I'll just show you how it works. And just in case we have to use it. Hopefully you won't have to, because we've already got these here. But all you do with this is you push it up against the board. It puts the frame in. It puts the spade in there.
Those things that come on the frame, don't they sometimes come out?
They do
Sometimes.
sometimes.
Yeah, they just fall off in your leg.
So if you need to, but hopefully you won't need to, but it's a fucking pain in the ass when they come pre-made like this. You don't have to use this, but Dean paid $5 for a piece of plastic.
Why?
Why? Because like anything in photography, it's expensive.
Thing.
Yeah. The other reason I don't like these is because sometimes in my experience with framing, my fingernails got caught on them, started to bleed because it's got underneath the fingernail, and then you've got blood, and then you've got all this other shit that you've got to deal with. So we start off with
just. That might make the print worth even more. Oh yeah.
Someone got murdered. Someone got murdered on it.
So open these.
It's called signing the print.
Yeah.
Sign on prints?
But I'm going to do.
Well, I am, because they are very
thing
much limited
before
edition
I-
fancy pants things that will never be.
You love your
Before I take it apart, I'm actually going to go and get the D-rings off Dean, because you're going to have to screw the D-rings in as well.
Yeah, yours.
But you won't screw them in today because we'll get sawdust all over it. So once everything's framed and then everything's sealed up, then I'll show you where to put the D-rings. And I might just do that right now anyway, so that you guys know what to do when we go to do it. So I'll just go and find out from Dean where they are. Open up your clips. And then you simply pull that out.
And
Hopefully the glass is clean. If you need to clean the glass, Windex, newspaper is actually really good. If you're going to use this paper towel, this is lint-free, so Paulie's going to get some packs and then give it a wipe down. What we obviously want to do, the reason you cleaned everything is we don't want dust settling on the glass, because once you close it, it's a fucking pain in the ass to open it and close it, open and close it and open and close it. So you want to make sure that there's no dust in there, and you just simply grab your print, which is very nicely mounted. And see, this is why these things are a pain in the ass. So this one's actually slightly too big, even though it's 40 by 50 for the frame.
So then what do we do with that?
What do? We grab one, and that's why, so maybe I'll just grab another.
So you did get like some sandpaper or something? Or...
He's gone.
I was like, would we?
Well, she should. Don't ask her to cut them smaller. You see, this is the size, so it should fit. And as you can see, so this is the issue. You can see how it becomes really tight. Now, obviously, I'm putting it in the wrong way. I just want to make sure it fits. And so this is where having these fucking things in is a pain in the ass. Because if I just push it down, it might just start to damage the edges, which are noticeable. So sometimes it's better to rip the little fuckers out. And it's better to do.
Smashing the glass.
Oh, it's better
Not
to.
being careful.
It's better to do this.
You just get a hammer and you
See
hammer
how
them
there's bits
into
of
the wood.
plastic.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's better
Then the
to.
glass explodes.
So.
And you're going to have to do it with this bit of cardboard.
Yeah, so it's better to do it before you take the cardboard out, because I've already got some shit there. Now the other thing why you may find that you need to take it out is because they've already put it in there, and they've only allowed for, this is 3mm foam core. recall correctly, they've done it really tight. So these fuckers, you're going to have to use those guns.
Oh.
Okay, I'm going to put this in there and I'm going to take it out. Because if you get given 5mm foam core, plus your board, that's not going to close over it properly.
Gasp.
If you use the 3mm foam core plus the mount board size, it's still going to be a really tight fit. You might be able to get away with it if you use their bit of foam core. You might be able to get away with it, but for argument's sake,
It's just probably a better idea to get rid of it.
yeah, it's a better idea just to take it out and do the whole thing. So what's probably going to be a good idea is if you have a container, you can just throw all these bits of metal in, because otherwise, sooner or later, somebody's going to step on them or put them in your fingers. You can generally pull these out with your fingers, but it becomes painful after a while. So just,
Oh god, and we have to do this 5 times.
yep. And maybe more if you're not slow and precise. So give yourself time. So if you haven't mounted your images by now, that's probably going to be a priority, because this will take a while to get it right. It shouldn't take that long. You could probably get all 5 done within an hour. But
DJ too.
but last year we had a student that had 5 images to mount, and it took them 4 hours to do.
DJ got from new record.
So you know.
But that was because I had
So,
the
okay, so
5
guys,
gaps
the
wide.
trick is, first things first. We've made an executive decision now. Take these out. Take them out before you take the foam core out, because that's going to be less dust falling on the glass. So don't take it apart and pull the spades out. This is the smaller footage. So you take it out. Make sure your glass is clean. Try not to handle it. If you have to, then take it out. Give it a good wipe down. If you can't find this, go and find a newspaper from somewhere and use that. Then you just get your print. You drop it in place like so.
Shove it down. Pop the theory gun.
Which picture is it actually?
Of
Let's do the other
DJ
one.
so she doesn't explode.
Let's
Warn
see
me.
if without this, whether this one's going to fit. Curious. No, it's obviously been cut too big. That was a Forley. That was me.
Oh
God,
Cut that.
Jules.
So I probably cut it for one of the frames that I made.
Oh, Mary,
Okay,
are you happy
so-
yours being framed in a thing?
Oh, oh, that's Marielle's. Oh, there you go. You happy with that? Which
Yeah.
way's up? This way, obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Oh wow, that's Mario frame right off the bat.
So then you just get this pucker, and you just usually have 2, roughly a third, so you go into thirds, 2 either side, and then
Okay, that seems less awful than trying to shove
yeah,
those
look,
things back down.
it's so much easier, and there you go. It's locked in.
Three a bit excessive or not?
No, not really. Because a couple of things that you're going to find, guys. Now, you want to have this quite tight. Your prints have just been printed. Usually, when we're doing exhibitions, so like, for example, when I was working with Photo Frio and we had the exhibitions, the prints would come in. Either Fitzy's might print some here, or they'd send them in and they'd send them in a tube. But because they're using roll paper, they kind of curved, so you need to flatten them. So for your own information, if you can have an exhibition, you print early and then you lay your prints flat and you let them settle down, so that they don't start to buckle. Which is right, it's just something that somebody said, and I fucking went off on a tangent there, and I can't remember. I was going to bring it back to that. What did you just say, Scott? Somebody said?
It's 3 bit excessive.
Oh no, 3 bit of excessive. Not really, because sometimes if you, depending on the paper stock that you're using, it starts to push a little bit. So 3, 2 and 2. How many did they have on there before? They might have just had 2 and 2.
Yeah, I think it was 2 and 2.
You can go with 2 and 2, but usually at least 2 on either side, on either edge. Okay, so that's it. It's not done yet, but you can see, even with that little thing, going to have to take it apart there because you've got black shit in there, and that's the issue. Got to be really careful, because once you do that, so we'll have to take it apart and do it again. I'm not going to do that now. Oh, fuck it, I suppose I'd better.
You're just wasting metal.
Seal it all down. It's not very neat edge. I'll redo it, but I'm not going to.
And let me guess, this tape is like heaps expensive, isn't it?
I don't know. No, not really.
Really? Because I mean, that, what was it? That
Archival linen tape.
yeah, that shit's like.
Yeah, that is really expensive.
how
Okay,
is this
so
not?
usually what I do, and I didn't really do it here, but I probably should have, when I'm doing my stuff at home, see you've got this black edge, so when you lay your tape down, a good way of knowing that your tape's not going to be exposed is you just put it up against that edge, so like you can just see the edge, the black line is running along there, so that you know then you're not going to have any brown tape showing on the edge of the frame. And then you get, if you got how long is that ruler? No, we want a 30 centimetre one. It's much easier. Have you got a shorter ruler? Did you have a shorter ruler before?
No, just one.
Oh, just that one. This is how you're supposed to do it. So just do it. Yeah. If you do it with a ruler, it's even neater still. That's shit.
I think she's gonna get one.
That's all right.
We ordered extra frames.
I hope so, or else somebody's going without one because I've just mounted using one frames. Yeah, I'm sure we have. If not, we'll just take this one apart. It's not a biggie. So now, it is sealed. So that's basically it. For now. So now it's sealed, should keep the nasties out. Pretty straightforward. Everybody can do that. Then the next thing that we're going to do now, we'll do this after. It's a really shitty job. Not happy. Sorry? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to get to now. So once you've done that, once everybody's work is framed, we'll put the D-rings on to hang them, which are these things. Can everybody see how it's, actually I'll pass that one around so you can all quickly have a look. There you go, so you can see. Just want to show you, so you can see this. The last thing, once everything's framed, because this is going to involve drilling and getting dust and shit happening again, everything framed and sealed, is we put these on, the D-rings on. The rule generally is that you have it about 20% down the frame. Or there's two ways of doing it. So you have it about 20%. The further down the frame you have it, the more it's likely to tilt forward. So you don't want to go beyond 20%, maybe a third at the most. If you're doing a show like we're doing, the other convention, which is to actually put it right up the top, like that. The reason being then is it'll hang flatter, particularly if you've got using multiple pieces of wire, and it's much faster to hang the show. So we'll have to make a decision once everybody's stuff's framed, how we're going to do it. My thoughts are that rather than having it down here, because if we do it down here, everybody's has got to be in exactly the same place, otherwise it's going to be a fucking nightmare. By not having it in exactly the same place when you hang it, we're probably going to be adding on about 2 hours to hanging time. So if you put it at the top here like this,
Did they do that last year?
adjusting the cables, I don't know what they did last year. If you're doing it here, it's much quicker because then you can just bang, figure out where you guys remember from installing O&O, moving the hooks up and down. If we've got it that, then we can kind of just work out, okay, this is the template where it's going, and then we can start repairing all the different things really quickly. So
what's different here and here? What's different?
Also,
this
when-
is quicker and easier to hang. This is more
No,
slow and time
I
consuming.
mean,